What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the podcast. Got a special guest by the name of Sienna Burmess. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, good. How are
Yeah,
you, bro?
Hey,
chilling.
I'm doing all right, man. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Thank you for having us.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you, sir. All right, now, see, look, I've taken a look at your page, man. I've seen the videos that you guys have done with, you guys have worked with a lot of young and up and coming artists, and it's like, great content. You know what I mean? So before we start, man, give us a little background about yourself. Where you guys from, and then how you guys got into the whole video making.
All right. So yeah, I'm Christian. He's Jordan, and like we've known each other since like I guess like ninth grade in high school. So we probably met around like 2015 ish, 2016, and we just been knowing each other for a long time. We used to play basketball, and we used to uh, after we played basketball like during high school we started to hang out more and more like freshman year of college, and then like he had shot a video, and
Mm-hmm.
then I seen it and I was like, damn, this is like crazy. And then we just like kind of like got closer like that, and then we just started doing this.
Yeah.
Wow, no, that's good. When I went on your page, man, I didn't know it's two of y'all that run
Yeah.
the page. And obviously, I'm pretty sure a lot of people think the same thing too, especially unless they have worked with you at like in person. So like,
Mhm.
explain the partnership between you guys. Who's in charge of the editing, who's in charge of the
Uh,
recording.
I'm the shooter, director, and editor, and he's a photographer and like page manager, and like just he pretty much does like anything that has anything to do with business because he's like
Yeah.
good at that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of just like split it up like that. Like we'll help each other, like we'll cross and help each other, but like that's kind of like our job is like he deals with that side and I deal with like the business side. So like like it's just like a better way for us to like split up everything that needs to be done, because like there's a lot more that goes into this besides just shooting videos, and there's a lot more that goes into it than just reaching out to people. So like by like collaborating and like it takes stress off of each other. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to worry about certain things because like we got it covered, and it's easier to have time to, because the like the editing and recording and all that process takes a long time. So us doing it this way, it makes it to where like we're able to split up our time and like make it to where we can give maximum energy to everything. You know what I mean? Like nothing is like being left behind.
Oh, I see. Now that's good. So you're saying like you guys partnership make the job easier, cause is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, like us having a partnership makes it to where like we can take stress and pressure off of each other. Like he doesn't ever have to worry about the details of, all I have to do is let him know the day and the time, and we can get to the shoot that way. And so like we're able to like really split up our energy that way. We're not focused in and forgetting about other things, because like things like our Discord that we're doing now, like if we only did the videos, or if he only did the videos by himself, we wouldn't be able to have a Discord. Or if like it's things like that. And like we also connect each other's dots. You know what I mean? Like we're not, like he does the things that I'm not good at, and I do the things that he's not good at. Kind of, that's the kind of like situation that we have.
I see. Now that's good. You guys, you're working a duo type of thing, a partnership. So
Yeah.
my thing is this: like, when you guys started shooting the video, like, talk about the process, man. What are like the steps that you guys have to take?
Yeah, so like how that works is usually it's either one of two paths. It's like one, the artist will hit me up, or I'll hit the artist up, and what we'll do is we'll just talk. We'll try to get like an idea of the song before, and we'll just link up. And then what we do is we don't usually like, to be honest with you, we don't really write up treatments that often. So like a lot of other videographers, they kind of they have like a whole plan of what they want to do, but we kind of just we like to go with the flow, because it's for our style and like the way the type of videos that we shoot, it's easier to just go with the flow. And and not be so gung-ho on the plan. We more so go off an idea, like we have a vision for the song, and we just go off the idea. We don't plan out any shots or anything like that. And that right, that's kind
Yeah.
of like how we do it.
Usually, like the artists that we work with, they kind of just hit us up and we go shoot the video. Pretty much what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, and then we'll like make it once we get to location, we'll just make it up as we go, type of deal.
I see. So like it's very like spontaneous thing
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
super spontaneous. Yeah.
Like when I go on your page, you guys network with a lot of young and up and coming artists.
Mhm.
So obviously, in order to get to that point, I mean, a lot of people shoot videos now, but in order to get to that point, like there's a certain obstacle you have to go through. You know what I mean? So how did you guys kind of got to this point, man, to where like you're well respected when it comes to the video scene, and how do you guys get to this point?
So really, like, man, like it just takes a lot of. We've been through a lot of like crazier experiences when it comes to videos. Like we've shot a lot of sketchy locations, a lot of very unprofessional things before. Like we've kind of had to we kind of had to go through like the, how do I describe it? Like I guess like the trials of being a videographer. Like we didn't just wake up and start shooting for the artists that we do now. Like it took us a long time to figure out our equipment and figure out our style and figure out like the wave that we wanted to be on and things like that. So it was like we took probably like, because this will be our third year. At the end of this year, it'll be our third year.
Oh wow.
So our first year, it was kind of like we were just shooting whatever we could. It wasn't, we really didn't have that much freedom to like express ourselves, like with the videos. Like we just like we just weren't working with the type of music that we were like really passionate about. And so it was like it took us, that first year to like really figure it out and go through the mud and like really like go through all the, all the rough parts of videography and directing and things like that. Like he can tell you so many different like sketchy things that we've like had to shoot around and had to manage and all those type of things. So
Yeah.
You mentioned like it hasn't been easy. What kind of stuff that you guys have to go through.
yeah. All right, so like I think one of the main things at first was obviously when you first start, like you have to really put yourself out there to get people to want to shoot with you. And so
Okay.
when we first started, when you have zero resume and all you have is, like we made like a like with like it was us two and a friend, like we just made like a goofy like fan video of a song, but like
Yeah, a fan video.
but that's like all we had to like really base the work off. So we had to like
And a school project too.
yeah,
School
school project,
projects.
yeah.
And then my first ever music video I ever shot was someone from high school. And
Yeah.
like that was when we started. Like we started like shooting videos after that. Like, but it was, I don't know, it was hard to get people to shoot with us. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, in the beginning, especially cuz like we weren't shooting 4K quality. We were shooting on like a 1080p what was it, like a Rebel?
It was a Canon,
Yeah, it's a Canon Rebel.
and we had to use editing and stuff to like make up for the quality, and like people mess with that. So
Yeah. Yeah. It was hard because like, thing like people would want this like, let's say they want their video to look like Lil Durk. Well, we didn't have the equipment capabilities to do something like that. And
I
so it
see.
took like, obviously you don't just like spawn in with like the best equipment. Like you have to really grind for it. And like, it took us a while to figure that out. And then after like maybe like 7, 8 months of shooting on our old camera, we finally got a 4K quality camera, and then it got better from there. But I'd say like definitely in the beginning, it's hard to convince people to want to shoot with you and like work with you and like trust you with the vision. And then also like, I mean, it's tough whenever you don't have the quality. Like a lot of people say the advice that like your equipment doesn't really matter, but it's like
if you want to shoot for the top people, you have to have the best quality.
Yeah,
or
you
like
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you can only take like you can be like he got to the point where like he was so good at that at shooting with the with the low quality that it was like we were actually getting held back by not having a new like a better quality camera. So like we had to do whatever it took to like get that, you know, and like get upgrade the PC, like
Yeah, and a lot of free videos and stuff.
yeah, a lot of free videos, a lot of just like like really putting ourselves out there for free, like showing up to events for free, paying to get into events, like driving across town, spending like $100 in gas in a weekend just to
Wow.
shoot free videos, like like that's kind of like what we had to go through to get that beginning stage, like get through that first year.
You guys mentioned one thing that stood out to me about you guys were shooting for free at a certain point. Do you feel like as a videographer, bro, do you think that they need to wait before they start charging, or they need to start right away?
All right, so like what I'll say about that is like, so one thing about business is you never want to be the cheap guy. So like, because once you're the cheap guy, like people always, I mean, let's say you charge a cheap price and then your quality and your skill gets to the point where it's a waste of your time for charging that cheap. People are going to look at you a wrong way for your pricing going up. So that's one thing that like I kind of wish I would have taken into consideration is you don't want to be the cheap guy, but you know, you have to
You have to charge the right people and shoot the right people for free.
yeah, like if you can't connect to a song or if you can't I'm talking about in the beginning, like if you can't connect with somebody and you don't have a genuine like feeling of a relationship, then you just shouldn't like I wouldn't recommend just investing a free video if you don't see anything like with this person.
But also in the very, very beginning, if you're barely buying a camera or like you're just barely starting out shooting videos, your first like 10 videos should be free.
Yeah, because you really want to build like a good resume and like show that like it's also a relationship thing, like because those 10 people that you shoot for, they all know people. Most people that make music aren't the only people that make music. They usually have friends. So it's like that those 10 people turn into 20 to 20, 30, 40, 50 people. So like that's kind of like it's a tough situation because like you feel that once you upgrade you want to just like start charging a lot, but you also have to be really in tune with your audience and what they can afford. So like the scene, if you're in a scene where you're already working with record labels and stuff, you're at a complete like that's a completely different game. Like of course you always got to get your money when it comes to working with the labels, but like in the beginning when you're or like when you're working with younger artists or people more of like in our scene, like it's a lot of younger people, so like they don't have that like they just don't have $1,000 to dish out for a video, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like it's a tough situation because like you want to start making money but you also got to be really in tune with like who is your like clients right now, you know what I mean?
I
Or
see.
your target audience, I guess you could say.
That makes sense. It's one of those things where, like, when people start, they either come out with like, "Oh, I charge X amount of money," and sometimes people are not really trying to pay that because like you don't have a resume or you're not known
Yeah.
for it. You know.
With that, it's just like one thing like I wish that we would have done differently back then was if you're going to charge like a higher price, especially for in your beginning stages, you need to make up you need to invest into ads, you need to start making your page more professional, like how do I describe it? Like you just gotta there's more that goes into it to make yourself look more professional. And I feel like back then, like we didn't really take that. We were kind of wanting to be like more portfolio where people can just get on our site and if or on our page and if they like it they like it, but like we should have put more effort into building a website earlier, investing into making sure the website looks professional, investing into like Google ads and like, and like showing the process more and like doing more TikToks and things like that, because that's you can make more money doing that. And that's kind of like we should have put more time into that. So like for anyone that is watching this that is wondering about that, about charging and stuff, if you're going to just know, if you're going to charge more in the beginning, you need to also like be doing that end, and like doing all the things that make it to where more people will find your work and you get more clients and everything like that.
I see. So basically, you're saying like the key thing is to be seen, basically.
Yeah,
To
yeah. I mean, like you want as many eyes on your videos as you can. So, like doing what you can to make that happen. And eventually you get to the point where your work speaks for itself. But in the beginning, you got to kind of like speak it into existence, kind of like not fake it till you make it, but like you got to just like really like put as many eyes as you can on to
I
your
see.
onto your work.
Now that's facts. You guys have been shooting this video for almost 2 years now, and
Yeah.
and obviously, like, yeah, it's picked up. You guys network with a lot of young and up and coming artists.
Mhm.
And then my thing is this: like, I mean, you talked on it earlier about if you have to go back, what you would have done different,
Yeah.
like at your early stage. What advice would you give yourself? And if also for anyone
Mhm.
that wants to like pick up a camera and shoot a video, do the music video thing, or even shoot a movie, what advice do you have for them?
All right, yeah. So like what we'll do is like he'll explain like on the shooting side, and I'll say on like the business side. So whatever you have to say about advice for like a young
If
videographer.
you're gonna first start out shooting videos, and if you want to be like an up and coming videographer or like a filmmaker, you got to know like the right like audience. You got to know like up and like just like on TikTok, like we find like new artists every day, and we find people that we want to work with in our area.
Yeah.
And like I would just like uh I don't know. You also want to have fun too. You don't want it to just be like not you gotta like be able to like want to be a videographer. Also, like videographer isn't our only income. Like we were working jobs and all that
Yeah.
before we can even get to the point to where we're at now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I think uh for somebody that's just starting out, I would say like don't be like afraid to invest, because almost anything that isn't a like a job where you go and trade your time for money, you have to put money into to make money out of it. So, like if you want to get to the point where you are shooting big music videos, you have a whole music video set, or you're working with record labels, or you're working with bigger artists, like you can't be afraid to invest a lot of money into your equipment while also, you know, investing your time and energy into building relationships, because like that's really the most important thing, is investing, like besides buying better equipment and always improving your quality, it's really like your relationships and your networking skills. Like those are the most important things. Like if I could like change some things that I did back then, I would have went to more events. Like I would have went to I would have went to more events, while also I would have been I wish I would have gotten into the discords more, like the Discord community. I wish I would have gotten into that more back then, because that
Yeah.
if you listen to a lot of these younger artists talk, like a lot like these ones that have blown up and everything, like they say they've met on Discord, they have whole entire communities with thousands of people in it. And I feel like if we would have been on that a long time ago, we could have, maybe accelerated the process a little bit. So I think that, and also TikToks, like I still feel like we slack on TikToks. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing like I really want to change, is like our TikTok output, because that's so important. And like if you get on TikTok, you get in Discord, you go to events, like your name is just everywhere, and you start building connections with more and more people, and people are getting more exposed to you. So I say for anyone that's like starting out, don't be afraid to invest your time and energy as well as your money into networking
Also,
equipment,
like
shooting free videos, things like that.
Also, there's like so many young artists that are unknown but know a lot of people and are like it's actually like not very hard to like get tapped in. Like just like hit up a lot of young artists and like up and coming artists that have like 5 to like 10K artists, and like you're just gonna keep building up from there because like someone knows somebody. Like there's always someone that knows somebody.
Yeah.
And if your work keeps getting better, you're gonna like gradually like keep going up.
Yeah.
And like we work with like a lot of smaller artists, and we've hit up a lot of smaller artists that end up being like one of the biggest artists like out right now. Like it's actually like crazy. But
yeah, I mean, like also you want to be genuine about it, you know. Don't like I've never like DM'd somebody or reached out to somebody that didn't really like connect with their music or like
you want to
mess
like
with them.
their music too. Like
you always want it to be genuine.
You
don't ever
find those people that like you like.
Yeah, don't ever be like fake and just like use people. That's not cool. Like building genuine relationship, and then you just gradually their circle becomes your circle, and then next thing you know you have a giant circle.
Nah, facts. We talked about a lot. We talked about your early career as before you guys start your page, and also some of the obstacles that you guys have to face in order to get to where you are now. And you also gave a lot of great advice on what people need to do in order to even get to the level that you're in right now. Lastly, man, where can we find you just to tap into your work, man? Where can we find you guys to anyone that wants to find you guys or just even work with you guys? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can on our Instagram, it's Sienna Burmess. It's SIENNABURMESS, and you can put that same name into YouTube. And we have a on our YouTube channel. If you go to our playlist, well, we have a YouTube channel with I think like 12 videos or something like that. But you can also go to our playlist, and you can go from the top is like our first. Well, we consider our first like video in the scene that we're in now, and you can see our progress from that first one all the way to this last one that I think we just dropped one last night or today. And you can see the improvement with quality. You can see the improvement as far as like how big the artists get, like you'll just see an abundance of the. Then we also have a website, siennaburmess.com. And there's like a section where you can fill out like a little inquiry, and you can go to my email, and we can communicate through there, or you can DM me on Instagram, anything like that if you want to work. So yeah, I mean, like it's just our name on any platform, really, just Sienna Burmess. If you just look that up, you'll find it.
You guys shoot videos for a lot of young and up and coming artists. So, but like, what artists that you guys would want to work with? Maybe artists that you like personally, or
name a couple. Like, and then he can name a couple. I really want to work with. I've always wanted to work with Pasto Flaco. Okay. I've wanted to work with. Dang, I'm kind of like I want to work with Lucky one day. Lucky would be insane to work with one day.
Okay.
Destroy Lonely. Shoot. I want to work with. What, Lil Tracy?
I want to get big budget videos eventually, but like work with like Lil Tracy, A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, A$AP Rocky would be insane.
People like Kanye, like maybe work on something with him or something. But also like we're also somewhat of a clothing brand too. Like we're gonna probably like try to build our platform up and then try to like release clothes too.
Push out our clothing. Right. So yeah, I mean there's a lot of artists like. I'm kind of like blacking out now, but there's a lot of artists out there like D Savage that we've always wanted to work with. D Savage. Lil Tracy, like he said, Lil Tracy would be cool. I mean, if we could one day, like I think we could work with Travis Scott too, because we're from Houston as well. So
probably Sofago, because
Sofago, yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's signed to Cactus Jack, and we're based in Houston. That's where all our underground artists usually like meet us at, or like they all live here, so
that'd be Sofago for sure.
Yeah.
I would also say, like, as a videographer, if you're upcoming, like, you should probably like if you're in like a weird like city or something, like travel out to different cities
Yeah,
and
that's what we did.
go
Yeah.
tap in with the other artists out there, like smaller artists or bigger artists, whatever. But just travel
Yeah.
and invest like a lot of money into it. Like, don't be afraid to spend your money to go travel.
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, we took like we went from LA to Atlanta to New York all
Oh
in like
wow.
all in a row. So we went to LA for a couple days, Atlanta for a couple days, and then New York.
And
So
I would say if we didn't go to those three cities, even though we didn't link up with any like major artists, it was still like the smaller artists that really like gave us a little push into really like start us off.
yeah, and also those artists have like grown like so much since then. So it's like now, that now they're much bigger artists. So it's like, it's cool to see. But like that whole trip was definitely a net loss when it comes to profit, but it was a total gain because we learned so much on that trip. Like we met so many people. We made a lot of like really good videos off that trip.
Oh wow.
And like we established our name in different cities, especially Atlanta. We want to go back to Atlanta really bad, but
I see. And sometimes, man, I think it's not also about the money. It's also about the experience. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's like
now we know what not to do whenever we go to a city because like when we
yeah,
went to LA, it was so expensive and we were just like stuck in the hotel for like 5 days.
yeah,
Oh man. Okay.
yeah.
Sienna Burmess, thank you guys for coming through, showing us love, and giving us your word on just how you guys started and stuff like that. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, and then also make sure you check out Sienna Burmess on all social media platforms. And guys, you have a good one.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. You too. Thank you.